Welcome back, guys. Kickstory Podcast is back in action here on location. I'm Bobby Kicks, back in the mix.
Go team, the place to be. What's going on, everyone?
And we're here in Vegas at the illustrious room of our guest here.
Yes, sir.
We'll introduce to you in a second here.
And you can't just say Vegas. You go, Viva Las Vegas.
We're making a copyright strike.
I know.
You're right. You're right.
It was so accurate. Yeah, so on pitch. I was like,
right. Guys, we're here in Vegas. And we're not only here in Vegas, we're here at ComplexCon 2025.
Wow.
This is a first for us. We super excited. And this man right here,
Yes.
right? You know what you made us do?
what?
You made us bring the Kickstory card out.
That's right.
That's a rare one.
This is a one of one.
Okay.
Right? And we love to give flowers. This is an honor to be here, not only at ComplexCon, but to interview this man right here. So let me just set the stage a little bit, Bobby.
Do it. No, this is great, man. I'm a huge fan of yours.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get this going, and we've been talking about this for a while, so yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's a pleasure.
So this man right here.
Guys, sorry for the interruption, but I swear this is going to be a good one. I'm excited to share with you an awesome deal exclusively from Rejuvenator.com. Check this out.
We partnered with Rejuvenator to give you 20% off all things Rejuvenator, the #1 sneaker cleaning solution product and system in the world. All you have to do is go to checkout, type in Kickstory Podcast 20 to get your 20% off.
And Rejuvenator has you covered from stain repellents, shoe wipes, midsole cleaners, and their signature shoe cleaning kit that has the solutions, all the brushes, and the shoe trees there to keep your kicks looking awesome.
That's it. Stay fresh to death with your sneakers while saving some money. Once again, just go to Rejuvenator.com, type in Kickstory Podcast 20, take advantage of that 20% off.
Now, back to the show.
Started at Sneaker News as a writer covering sneaker releases in the culture, okay? Former head of sneakers at Complex Networks, overseeing editorial and video sneaker content. Former co-host of Complex Full Size Run and Complex Sneaker Podcast.
That's right.
Collaborated with major brands like Nike, Adidas, Reebok through media and storytelling.
Wow.
Oh, we still going.
Yeah,
We still going.
it's
We still going.
list.
Okay. Join
It's a hot show.
Join StockX in 2025 as Senior Director of Customer Community and Engagement, known for deep storytelling about sneaker history, culture, and community, and an avid runner. Okay, and a recognized voice in the sneaker media, connecting fans, brands, and collectors globally. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brendan Dunne.
Thank you for that. Very kind.
Yes, sir.
And let's not forget, he's going to be a panelist.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right. At ComplexCon.
ComplexCon is happening like tomorrow for us. So if you're watching this, it's already going to be past, but it's happening. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, Brendan, did I do okay? Did I miss anything?
Man, you checked all the boxes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thank you for joining the Kickstory Podcast, bro.
I'm glad to be here. We've been talking about doing this for a while. It's a pleasure. We're on location. We're looking out over the Las Vegas Convention Center right now.
Right.
The spheres. What's on this? I can't see what's on the sphere.
It's right now. It looks like there's an advertisement for.
Don't mention no because they didn't pay. Don't.
You're right.
You know what?
Pay.
But you know what? Complex has been doing some pretty cool advertisement on the sphere I've seen.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, for ComplexCon. So salute
Can't
Complex.
be cheap.
Right. But Brendan, we just want to get the ball rolling, right? And just talk about your Kickstory, talk about your roots, how you got to the position you were. Talk StockX. I mean, the list can go on and on.
Yeah.
But I guess we just start with this. Your Kickstory.
Yes.
Where you from, man?
Where I'm from? Well, I'm originally from Oregon.
Okay.
But I mostly grew up in Idaho. So
Okay.
I lived equal amounts of time in Oregon and Idaho. Like I said, born in Oregon, moved to Idaho when I was a young man, and I went to University of Oregon. So kind of back and forth between the two.
U of O, right? U of
Yes,
O?
exactly.
Go Ducks. Quack, go Ducks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
cool.
Go Ducks. All that. Yeah, and I live in New York now.
Very cool.
Okay.
Brooklyn, right? Not just.
I have to,
Don't dox me. It wasn't say I live in Brooklyn. You say I live in Brooklyn, so we know.
We know.
Yeah.
He lives in Brooklyn. He lives in a place that's connected to my heart.
Right.
And that was one of our talking points.
Right.
So shout out Brooklyn all the time. Bobby, this is like the 15th. No, this is whatever episode this will be. Every single episode I mentioned Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's the last time I went there was like 2006-ish.
Okay.
It's definitely changed a lot.
Okay.
But I'm excited to go back. I know you have some really cool places that you've been to that I definitely want to, explore with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
we'll
for
make
sure.
that trip, so that's going to be awesome, yeah.
I'll make sure our New York trip, right, will be like a fully immersive experience, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna take you to the projects, right? Take you, serious. I'm gonna make sure that I'll show you, the full. If we can see five boroughs, we can see five boroughs.
Or Staten Island?
You know what?
You said it, not me.
You're
so
right.
I'm just like, I'm gonna hold you accountable if you're saying it.
You only could take the ferry though, man, and you know.
Then I have been there. I remember that. I remember taking the ferry, so I did.
Yeah. You know, shout out Staten Island. I know Staten Island's like the redheaded stepchild of New York. I know that. You know, you guys birth woo.
You can't really ask for much more than that.
Come on now.
That alone is a big enough contribution, right?
Come on now. So, Bobby, we got Oregon roots, we got Idaho roots, and then we got U of O.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, you've been all over the place. I imagine, like, you know, with New York and, you know, going back to Oregon. We actually connected a couple years back at Oregon.
Yep.
You know, we got to, you know, go on Nike campus together.
That's right.
Tour it, you know,
Right.
shout out to everyone that did, you know, that put that together.
The gathering, what up?
Back in PDX, and that was a great experience for us. It was the first time doing that.
Right.
First time meeting you.
Right.
Super humble dude. Just, you're an open book, man.
I was back then, but I'm not anymore. Everything has changed. Yeah.
Life has changed.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just really, you know, grateful that, you know, you've been really accommodating with us and really, you know, kept that connection tight.
Hey, of course.
So I mean, acknowledge that because you're a cool dude. Yeah.
No, it's not anything you got to say thanks for. It's like the stuff that we love, right?
Yeah,
Connecting
exactly,
with people over sneakers. So like, it's part of the reason why I'm here at ComplexCon this weekend is because everybody I know who's into footwear or into the scene is going to be here. So yeah, just it's what we do, right?
Very exciting
Right,
stuff, yeah.
right.
Exactly right.
Let's talk about sneakers so I can understand the power of sneakers.
Is that what we're here for?
I think so. I think it's only right. It's only right.
Hanging out in this hotel room, just, you know, talking it over. Okay.
It's only right. So paint the picture for us. Growing up, little snot nose running around, right? How what was your environment like? Like, did you play sports? Did you see Michael Jordan? Like, there's so many questions I have, but I want to hear from you in that Oregon / Idaho experience.
I never played a lot of sports. I'll say that for sure. I didn't grow up in like a household where like sports was, I mean, you know what? My mom watched football and like Monday Night Football, but like I was not like the sports guy, which you could probably imagine just by looking at me. Like, you probably already knew that. I actually suffered a sports injury recently that reminded me the extent to which I should not be trying to.
That's like how Michael Jordan's hands are. That's a crazy little woo.
That's the only thing Michael Jordan and I have in common. Yeah, and I didn't really have that experience. You know, a lot of people, maybe yourselves included, like you saw Jordan wear the sneakers, or you saw Bo Jackson in the trainers, or Griffey, and that was the thing that cemented it or made that connection. That just wasn't it for me because like we had one channel on TV and I just didn't really care about that stuff back then. So I came into sneakers a little later as a teenager through the internet. Yeah, my sporting life is pretty limited.
Right.
Yeah. I played soccer as like a 5th grader.
Hey, that counts.
That counts, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That counts.
I'll take it.
There you go.
Yep. You said you got into sneakers. You're a late bloomer.
Yeah.
Okay. You're a late bloomer. You said teenage years.
Yeah.
What was that sneaker that was like, your spidey senses is going up? Like, what was that sneaker that caught your interest?
It was just Nike SB Dunks as a whole. Just that culture around collecting them in the early 2000s. That was the thing of like, I wanted to own the limited shoes or the cool shoes or the shoes that had stories to them or the shoes that signified something with their colors or the logo slapped on them.
Right.
So you got exposed to these, you know, the SBs through the internet.
Yes,
so
for sure.
How did you actually know that they existed? Did you see someone at school wear them and then you kind of piqued your interest?
No, I just like was stumbling on sites like Nike Talk or Hypebeast would have just been around at the time. High Snobiety, movies like Just for Kicks, the documentary I think that came out in 2005. That was a
classic,
big educational
100%
step for me for sure. And yeah, I just wanted to know more and wanted to figure out how I could get these things on my feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is during the time when you're in Idaho or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what kind of stores were there? Like what?
There weren't.
There weren't any stores.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So were you the teenager like drawing like the pigeon dunks or drawing like dunks like I'm gonna get these
for sure. Yeah, imagining how I might procure such a thing, and yeah, the closest like place where I could go to try and find sneakers is like Spokane, Washington, like Gonzaga University. Like, yeah, they had like Spokane Valley Mall or a Ross there that we would look for some Nikes in. Or I wish I could remember the name of the store, but there was a gentleman who opened a a consignment store out there, patterned after the model of Flight Club, and it was like the first place I had ever seen any like rare shoes on a shelf. Yeah, I can't imagine that store was around for very long. Sometimes I go digging in my email because I've had the same email address for 20 years.
Is it Hotmail or
Don't dox me. And sometimes I go digging for the email exchanges with the guy that I bought, that guy who owned that store that I'm thinking of and spoke to back in the day. I'm sure like if a real deal historian like Good Burger is listening to this, he could pull up the
Okay, there you go.
Right.
That's some homework
about it. Yeah.
Right.
But, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so Idaho, limited, access to sneakers. You were just dabbling online. You saw some SBs. You loved them. You started noticing all the different, styles to them and stuff like that. So when was that first pair they actually got, and how did you obtain them? Did you, mow some lawns? What did you do to, obtain that first pair that you really wanted?
Yeah, the first pair of Nike SBs I ever got was the Nike SB Zoom FC.
Oh.
Which was not, I wanted a pair of Dunks, but like I said, we went to Ross and we found, I think I was with my mom, and like it was a FC Barcelona colorway of the Zoom SB FC with the Barcelona badge on it. And
Dope.
it was cool to me because it was a Nike shoe. Like that's kind of like, that's where the bar was for me. And it was an SB. Like I knew it wasn't the type of SB that was quote unquote cool, but like I was hyped to have them.
For sure. You have that shoe, and then now your passion for storytelling, journalism. I'm assuming that fueled it at the U of O, University of Oregon. But let's stay with the teenage years. What was your kind of DNA in terms of storytelling, journalism as a team?
Less like storytelling and journalism. I always just liked writing and liked words. Yeah. And so I think that was the foundation for it for me, is like I was just super interested in how words interact with each other, and cemented that more in my studies at the University of Oregon. So I never studied journalism. Like I try not to call myself a journalist out of respect for people who've done a lot more in that field than I have, and have journalism degrees or like went to journalism school. But the foundation for me is I just like care deeply about words, and it's something that I think about a lot.
Right.
So during your time at the university, were you rocking a lot more shoes? A lot more of the things that you wanted?
Yeah, for sure. By that time, like I was buying Jordans on the regular from like the Valley River Center, I think was the mall there in Eugene. So I would go to the Foot Locker on the weekends and line up for Air Jordan Retros.
Nice.
I was buying stuff online. I mean, like basically my program was like sign up for as many student loans as I could and use the refund checks. The student loan gets applied for your tuition and all your stuff, and you have the leftover that you're supposed to use for your living expenses. Yeah, for sure. A lot of it went to living expenses, but a lot of it went to sneakers as well. So
I can relate to that. I used to, when I was in college and I used to get student loans, I used to be like, what? I'm going to play that IOU game, right? And I'm just going to just get these kicks, and I'll owe you later. I got you, government.
Yeah. Figure the priorities out.
Nice.
Right. Go ahead, babe.
Now I was going to say, what else did you notice, like, on campus? Did you start noticing, other parts of the sneaker culture side of it?
For sure. I mean, being in Eugene and being at the University of Oregon was like the first time I ever lived somewhere where there were like-minded people around me who were into sneakers. Other than like when I was in high school in Idaho, my friends just got into sneakers as well because like we kind of all ended up liking some of the same stuff, but I was way more into it than them.
Right.
So being at the University of Oregon and being in Eugene was the first time I was in an environment where like I could meet people and be like, oh, you have this shoe on, you have that shoe on. I could tell you're into this. Oh, you do have the Bordeaux 7s. You also just got these. Or, oh, you still have that SB Dunk and it's still crispy. Or like you're a Japanese foreign exchange student and you appreciate these New Balance MT 580s that I have. So that was a cool thing for me, and definitely the place where my appreciation for it matured. And I finally felt like I was like part of something
Like
that didn't
Yeah.
just exist online. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
And
cool.
think about that. Think about that energy, because like when we go to Portland, when we go to Beaverton, it's an energy. It's
For sure.
right. So imagine, and I'm just imagining going to Eugene, University of Oregon, and just that energy, just the commonality, the same interests, and then let's talk about the exclusive Nike colorways of the University of
Yeah,
Eugene.
of course, yeah.
Did you
Rich history there.
amazing history? I don't know the setup, but was there any like you guys get exclusive rights? I know athletes do, but like as a student, did you get exclusive rights to those U of O's Jordan Nikes?
No, there is a funny story though. I did I did get the first the Pit Crew Jordan 3.
Oh, wow.
That was the sneaker that came out when I was still at the University of Oregon, and it was a shoe that they first distributed to these fans who made up this student fan section called the Pit Crew, and then they were incentivizing people to go to women's basketball games. At the time, this was pre-Sabrina Ionescu.
Right.
So there was a system by which you would be rewarded with like higher chances to win a raffle for the shoes or something, or women's basketball games you went to, and also they were giving away the Pit Crew Jordan 3s at women's basketball games.
Oh, wow.
There was this one game I went to. I would just started going to games with cash just to try and buy them off people. And I remember sitting in the stands at a game and them calling the ticket numbers, and I was like paying very close attention to who was winning, of like who among these winners would I be able to get the shoes off. And I saw this old couple win, and I was like, this is my chance. And I caught them in the hallway and ran up on them with $200 cash, and I was like, I'll buy it for it. I didn't even know what we won, and I was like, "That's just a pair of shoes and a jacket. That's it." And they're like, "Sure." So,
yeah, that's funny. I can imagine you just waiting there with a wad of cash in your hand, like with a hoodie on or something. You know, like who's this guy?
Yeah. So I didn't have any special access really. I wasn't really tapped in or plugged in, but I weaseled my way in.
I'm curious. So you started noticing all the sneaker culture. You started, getting connected with other people there. Did you start getting curious about the designers behind those silhouettes?
For sure.
How did that happen? How did that blossom?
For sure. I think just like reading as much as I could online and like piecing together, but also like I feel like there wasn't that much information, and this wasn't that long ago, but like you really had to dig for it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Even as late as like the early 2010s, like
For sure.
there just is. And I've said this elsewhere. I mean, there's just like not that much attribution in like sneaker design of like we know like I mean, we're super nerds, so we know more designers than average, but like for so many years, the only designer everybody ever knew was Taker Hatfield, you know, like with good reason, because he's the best there ever was. But I think it took a long time for people to kind of finally pull at some more of those threads and be like, is this Eric Avar? Is this Aaron Cooper, a friend of ours? You know, like who are these other people? So yeah, when did I start to like learn about that? I guess into the 2010s, trying to like look deeper and spend time on places like Nike Talk, where people were obsessed enough where they knew who were behind these silhouettes.
Very cool.
And I love this current climate of like Wilson Smith getting his flowers, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Eric, I would love to see, because Eric Avar is such a profound person in the sneaker design, and what he created with like this, just the foam posits, what he did with Kobe and Penny, so I really like what, the momentum we're getting with Wilson, and but I do wish that we need to be, regular consumers, normal consumers, not just nerds, need to really, really know who these designers are, of silhouettes that they may not know the history of, but they may know what that collaboration or what that sneaker meant to the sneaker industry in this current climate.
For sure.
So love the momentum. Yeah. So let's talk about U of O, but now graduating U of O, what was that first kind of leeway into the into the sneaker kind of media? I don't want to say journalism, but storytelling, just all infused. What was that first entry door?
Yeah, I was working at Sneaker News very early on, doing freelance stuff for them my junior year of college, and then I just was working for them more and more frequently.
Where was that?
This was remotely when I was still in Oregon. Yeah, and then they hired me full time right when I graduated, and I moved to New York right after that to work in their office and to play a bigger role on the team.
Love that.
The remote work was fairly new, right? I mean, it's pretty common nowadays, but back in the day, it was kind of like rare.
Yeah, for sure.
How's that experience of working remotely and not having like them there with you?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like we were on AIM, like AOL Instant Messenger, like exchanging ideas or like.
No.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of funny, like working with this group of guys who I just like had never met, and honestly didn't really even talk on the phone with that frequently that I could recall.
Right.
I think one of my coworkers at the time, John Kim, he did come to Eugene for some Nike launch that was happening. But yeah, it was like a year and a half of like just spending a lot of time online with these people, but not having met them in real life.
Wow.
Right. And then now Complex.
Yeah.
Right. Complex. How did Complex even come to, how did that scenario go? And then how did you even start the full size run? Like bring us through your Complex journey.
Yeah, I mean, I was at Sneaker News for a few years, and a gentleman named Gerald Flores was working at Complex at the time, and he kind of tapped me to help out and thought that I could level up. And I started out at Soul Collector at the time, which was owned by Complex then. And
Yep.
yeah, just grinding out a lot of just like blog posts, news posts, just as many as I could. Full Size Run came maybe 3 or 4 years after that. Started first as a live show on Facebook Live, and then we realized that there was a lot more for us to gain transitioning it to YouTube.
Yes.
So figured that out. We brought Trinidad James on as a co-host.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah, we
Shout out.
yeah,
Sure that.
dear friend, lovely guy. Hope to see him this weekend in Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta
Also shout out our guy Alex Wing, Retro Kid.
of course. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out, deep shout out.
Automatic. One of those people who is super important in terms of like
Super important.
disseminating information about
Yes.
about sneakers and about who made them. It's like, again,
Yes.
when we talk about how few people there were who had that level of knowledge, like Alex was and still is one of those
Yes.
people who
100%.
foundational to, I think, our understanding of sneaker history, sneaker design. Yeah, just contributed a lot.
One thing I want to understand from you, it's okay. Went from Idaho to Oregon to New York. How's that culture? Have you been to New York before you?
No, I hadn't.
Wow, that was your first time.
Yeah,
to answer everything.
He was
Okay.
just thrown into the wolves.
Yeah, one way ticket. Yeah, right after I graduated college. It was I have trouble like thinking back in how I felt, but I knew that I wanted to do it, and I knew that it was something I had to do, and it was like I had this incredible opportunity to pursue this like dream, this like job that I loved, that was about something I cared about. It's funny looking back, I feel like I knew so little about sneakers back then.
Right.
And I'm humbled regularly of like, oh yeah, there's still so much to learn or so much to understand.
So much
Or
to learn.
we go to something like the Gathering in Portland, this group of people who I'm like, these guys like, compared to, at least for me, like compared to the people in my life, it's like, yeah, he knows everything about sneakers. But then you go somewhere like there and you're like, oh, it's so exciting to get to learn from other people who are like way more down the rabbit hole than you are. You're like, oh, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like once you got to New York, like, how did you explore that city? Like, where did you go? Like, how did you know where to go, where to eat? Like, how did you kind of like, be a part of that?
I didn't know. That's the thing. I didn't know.
Were you by yourself? You had any contacts in terms of like family?
Not really. I didn't really know. There was like one guy who I went to college with who lived in the city at the time. I think he was already in New York, Sam. But like I didn't really have any friends, or so it was a lonely couple of months of just trying to tap in where I could and trying to explore. We were working out of Chinatown, so I spent a lot of time like on Canal and around there. And
Did they take you in the city? Like, hey man, come here, man. I got something to show you. Take you to the secret doors to the fake Louis Vuitton. Did you experience that?
I've been pitched on that many times, but I've never taken the bait. Yeah.
Okay.
With New York, right? New York is an interesting city, right? In terms of like you have your natives who I think are friendly. I think New Yorkers, and maybe I'm biased, but I think New Yorkers will gladly show you the way around the city, almost in a prideful way, right?
Yeah.
But New York is also it's a walk-in network opportunity. It's you can have a best friend that you just met that sat next to you in the train, J train at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's just that type of city. So going there alone, I can see how you can almost meet your tribe there,
Right.
Just by commuting, just by unconsciously networking, right? So I can see how you can adjust, and you're pretty laid back, like look like you're almost an open book or very approachable, I should say. So I can see how you adjusted to New York once you understood the culture.
And it was like another one of those level up moments of if being in Eugene was like the first time I could be around people who like sneakers, like being in New York was the first time I felt like I was around the industry, or like I could go to things where somebody who worked at a brand might be there, or I could meet the people who had been in the game a bit longer than me, people like Russ Bankson, who I consider a forebearer of the stuff that I do, of just like being in a scene in a real way. Like that was super special to finally like be around people and participate on that level.
Right.
So you're in New York. You get a feel for the city. When was your first break? When did you first meet like your a celebrity or designer that really made you be like, okay, I think I'm onto something here, like to kind of grow in your career?
Yeah, I feel like I met Stan Smith early on. That was a really cool one.
That's dope.
Yeah. Again, like Russ Bankson, the first time I met Russ was really cool because like I had looked up to his writing for so long.
Very cool.
Yeah, those are a few names that come to mind.
Right.
I'm trying to remember what was one of those early like Nike events where I would have interacted with a designer, but I really have I think I had a call with like Toby Hatfield and Tiger Woods, circa like 2015 or maybe 14 or 15, and that was one of the early ones too. Where I was like, oh, I'm like interviewing a designer,
Nice.
which is worlds beyond what I was doing a few years prior. Of just here's the release information. Here's 150 words about the shoe.
So during this time, what were you wearing? Like, what was on feet?
This was like a big Nike Flyknit era for sure. Yeah, because like post 2012.
So we start with the racer.
Yeah, multicolored Flyknit racers, Flyknit trainers for sure. A lot of like Yakuza runners, Nike Undercover, probably some random Reeboks. Yeah, it's funny. Like aside from like wearing Reeboks as a meme for like 3 years straight,
that's right.
I'm not that like dedicated to one brand, or like I don't really have like, when it comes to my own personal taste in footwear, I don't really have like one lane that I'm not like the Jordan Retro guy or like the New Balance runner guy. So when I think about specific eras in my life, there's not always an easy way for me to pinpoint what I was wearing because I feel like it's often quite varied.
But it seems like you were wearing a lot of like the running style shoes at that time.
True. Yeah.
Tops.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Yeah. Comfortable for sure.
Speaking of running.
That's right.
It's known, or those who are being introduced to you love running, right? You're an avid runner. I had the opportunity to run the Brooklyn Half Marathon. That was my first half marathon. Amazing Prospect Park, right?
Yep.
Ending Coney Island.
Yes, of course. Long stretch. What is the road? What is that?
Is it Flatbush? No.
It's not Flatbush.
Not Atlantic. I know what you're talking about because that's when
it's like Ocean Parkway or something.
Ocean Parkway.
What it's called?
I think it's Ocean Parkway.
Okay.
And you know what? That was my first time doing a half marathon, and that's when I saw people drop.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, people are catching leg cramps. This is my first half marathon. This is 2012. And I'm like, ooh, I'm like, okay, I got like 6 more miles to go, right? But what's your favorite? Did you start getting into running, or like running expanded your love in New York?
I feel like I got into running really through Nike's programming, and like, if you live in New York City, you know how much there is to do around like this Nike running thing or that Nike running thing.
Right.
I'm not like a New York running OG. I'm not an OG of anything, but like there are like running groups that have existed through Nike in New York for so long.
Right.
I could go on and on about that, but yeah, I remember just running early on, like loops in Prospect Park. Like a woman I was dating at the time lived over there, so like
you got that 2-mile hill.
Yeah. Well, it depends on where you start. I would start with the hill.
Okay,
we started out of the way, but yeah. Okay. What shoes was I wearing at the time? I feel like Nike Structures, Nike Structure,
okay. Right.
Probably some like whatever was the contemporary Vomero at the time, mixed in with like a Pegasus here and there, and then like Zoom Fly toward the end of the 2010s. I wore Zoom Flies a lot.
Right.
Like post Breaking 2, all that type of footwear.
I mean, that's the introduction to Zoom X.
Yep.
That was that cushion right there. And those Zoom Flies were pretty exclusive.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't like anybody you can't just go in the store and get a pair of Zoom Flies at the time.
Yeah. I love that era of running shoes.
Yeah.
I know I saw one of your last races. You were racing in these Adidas.
Yeah.
Some of the Adidas there.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Yeah. Are we going Adidas?
That's
that's the real one. I
keep it on.
I feel fraudulent if I say it, or European. Yeah, the Adidas Evo SL is one of my favorite shoes of the past year, and I wear those a lot. That's the shoe I've logged the most miles in, like running or otherwise. I ran the Boston Marathon this year, and I was training in the Evo SL, and then I ran it in the race shoe, which is the Adidas. It's such a long...
SQ?
No. The name is so long. It's like Adidas Adios Evo Pro 1. Or
Right.
Switch the words around.
Basically, one with the thicker sole version.
Yeah.
Right.
That model gained a lot of traction, I noticed. Like, when I saw the pictures of you wearing them, I was like,
that's when it gained traction, when you saw me wearing them?
I believe
Let me tell you, though, it doesn't have enough traction.
Right.
That one thing, my biggest knock on that shoe is like the the outsole is quite slippery. There's like these black rubber sections.
It is kind of flat.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, but Adidas, they have the Continental kind of right. So you would think they'll have some grip to it.
Yeah, I think I have the sequel version. I don't know if it's out yet, but I think that there's Continental rubber on that. They up the traction on the second one. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure it's Continental rubber, but
That shoe I saw a lot in the Mexico City Marathon. They had a pop-up booth, and there was Adidas on
Flooded.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's making a lot of traction. It got my attention because of that, the way they look and the way they, the plushness to it.
There's that Pharrell colorway. I have those.
Flyer.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that shit a lot.
Nice. So that's your running. Is that your go-to for running now, or are you still
for sure,
kind of
for
mixing
sure.
it up?
Yeah.
With different brands. Adidas. Okay. Cool.
All right, here we go. We're sticking to running right now.
Yeah.
Off the cuffs. What's your top 5 runners ever?
Oh, sure.
Now,
Like that,
we're not gonna go style. We're gonna go performance first.
Okay, keeping in mind that like I've only been a runner for the past like 10, 11 years.
Well, good. This is
Yeah.
your Kickstory.
Zoom Fly is definitely, this is no particular order.
Okay.
Zoom Fly for sure. I want to say like Structure, like I think 17 is a nostalgic
I don't
one.
remember the numbers. What we at 39 or 40, 46? Like, where are we? That's crazy.
I'll put the Adidas Evo SL in there.
Okay.
Yeah. We're at 3.
Yeah.
What else did I run in a lot? I mean, like,
You ran in the 95s, right? The Air Max 95s.
I hesitate to call that a running shoe in 2025.
Right.
Black Air. I ran in Black Air Force Ones too, but I'm.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You was like man of murder.
Yeah, I'll probably round it out with something from like the Alpha Fly, Zoom Fly family. I don't know which one, but yeah.
All right. And then, hey, while we sticking on top 5, what's your, top 5 just, and this is just how you feel right now. You're not going to get married to like, this is your top 5 ever. Your top 5 runners just to just be casual on it.
The main one, number one for sure, is New Balance 993. I wear just like silver gray New Balance 993s like a lot.
Classic.
Yeah. Got my first pair maybe 2010 or something, pretty close to when they came out, I feel like.
Right.
And I wear those very frequently. I'm an Air Max 95 guy for sure.
Okay.
I wear a lot of 95s. I mean, at least this year. What else in terms of runners? Air Max 1, just such a foundational sneaker for me and for many of us for obvious reasons.
Of course.
I'll throw Adidas Ultra Boost in there. Like, I'm not putting an Ultra Boost on my feet that often in 2025. No, well, I haven't put them on my feet at all in 2025.
Right.
But like, I just feel like that moment was so cool.
Right. One more.
What's another one? It's got to be some Pegasus from the past 10 years. I feel like that I spent a lot of time in. I'm trying.
This
having trouble pinpointing the exact number, but yeah.
Very good.
All right, cool. We got a top 5 performance, top 5 style.
There we go.
Runners. That works.
That's a great list. As far as like basketball, I mean,
I don't know anything about basketball.
Okay.
We can skip this section.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Say, I mean, you appreciate the retros, you appreciate, the Jordans, stuff like that too. So, I mean, out of curiosity, like, is there any basketball shoes that you're gravitating towards right now? Like, what's catching your eye right now on the basketball scene?
Like new stuff?
New stuff.
Nike Jaw 3 for sure.
Jaw 3.
Jaw 3 is amazing looking shoe.
Told you, Bobby.
It is.
And you don't like it?
I'm not sold on it.
Yeah.
As like the hype that everyone's on it. I just, there's my hesitation on it because.
And when we talk basketball, because like the disclaimer is like, if I'm talking about basketball shoes, I'm not playing basketball in them.
Right.
If you're talking about basketball shoes, are you playing basketball in them?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm looking at it that way and aesthetically too.
Yeah.
Aesthetically. So yeah, I'm well-rounded and all, different ways of looking at a basketball shoe.
The Asia Wilson's signature shoe.
Okay.
Nike A1. I like that a lot.
I just saw it run. It won the Shoe Dog Award.
Yeah,
right?
Ben Nencom posted that. Yeah.
Yep.
The designer of that, and I think the Jaw. I don't know if he
designed the Jaw 3.
Yeah.
Right? Ben Slimer, what's going on?
Ben designed everything.
Yeah. You name it. Yeah.
I mean, the Ant 2, I think, is shaping up to look pretty good.
Okay, how do you feel about that in comparison to Ant 1?
I think that's a tough shoe to follow up, but like,
Yeah.
I think it looks good, man.
Solid.
Yeah. I held a pair in my hand at some point in January or something, and it was a heavy, bulky shoe, which I feel like the A1 was as well. And again, I'm never going to pretend like I'm actually playing basketball in these sneakers, so feel free to discard my opinion if that makes you disinterested in like what I have to say about basketball shoes. But like, I I don't know how much I'm gonna wear the A2 AE2, but like cool looking shoe for sure.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. I'll give it that. I mean, everything's going slim in that.
Yeah.
You're not feeling it?
Here's the thing. I've always tell you this. What Adidas has done is they took the blueprint of the Yeezy Quantum. If you look at the toe box,
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
slim.
For sure. It's got some of that language in it.
Hardens, Dame Lillards, Donovan Mitchell, AEs, all has that. So I think the blueprint of that is the Quantums.
Yeah.
But when it comes to AE2, I felt Adidas rode the AE1 too long.
Yeah.
They did it for 2 years.
Yeah, it took a while.
It took a while, right?
It would have been nicer to pivot away sooner.
Yeah.
Right. We literally saw him in 2 seasons with the same signature.
But that's the case with a lot of basketball shoes these days, right?
No, I don't know who started that trend. You know, I was thinking Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant debuts his sneaker after All-Star Weekend, pretty much, right? But I just felt the AE1, it was so strong. It has such a presence on and off the court. They made some iconic colorways. PE started to now get into the general public, right? For the most part, right? Like we had the AE, that kind of tie dye, right? That was high, but general public came low. But I just felt they just rode it a little bit too long. So when the AE2 came out, it's like it's there, but it's not loud. I think the Ja 3 is loud
For sure. I know what you mean.
right. It's loud. It's a presence.
Yeah.
Great timing. Great timing.
Yeah,
Great timing.
it's a present. And then Nike did a brilliant job. They debuted Ja, right, last year in the NBA playoffs, and we were like, "What the hell?" And then once you saw the story behind it, and then only $125, and you get some hybrid Zoom X.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like, I'm
There
sorry,
are a lot of new shoes you can buy for $125.
right,
They're very
2075.
Yeah, they're very competitive now.
right. So I can go on a tangent about Ja 3, but I think that's my spill.
No, I mean, that's great stuff, and I'm very interested because you said basketball. You're not really like into it, but I was always really curious about your basketball, like curiosity and like your view on that. But okay, you're in Complex, you're in New York, getting a feel for that.
Yeah.
Transition time. You go from Complex to StockX.
Yes, this summer I made a move. Yeah.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. That was a shock.
Yeah.
That was a shock. That was a shock to the sneaker world. That was a shock to us.
Yes.
And we just, Go ahead, Bobby.
No, I was gonna say, I was always a big fan of the shows. That
thank you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I watched them all the time. Honestly, that was a lot of the inspiration of
Behind
doing
this.
this.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
100%.
Yeah.
It was the
Glad to hear.
blueprint to what we wanted to expand on.
Yeah,
Storytelling, sneakers, the culture,
Right.
really doing
100%.
that part of it, through our lens, right? So, thank you for that, for really laying down that foundation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And so I'm really curious, like how that transition went from, that world to another, and how what you're doing now, how that's going, and all the cool things that you're doing right now.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've been trying to get my bearings. Felt like it was time for me to embark on a new journey in my career and take an opportunity to try something new, to see what we could do with StockX. And part of my mission there is to show people how StockX really works and how invested we are in sneakers and how much we care about this culture and the hard work that people on the inside do and the people at our verification centers do to make sure you're getting the shoes you ordered, and just like use the brand as like a conduit for people who really love sneakers.
Right.
Just help tell stories and help connect people. I think we do a great job connecting people in that you can get the shoes you want and you can always be tapped in with the sneakers you want because StockX is there.
Right.
And if the shoe's sold out, you can go get it there. We know that. Or if you bought it, you can flip it on there. We know that. But I think that it has greater potential to really be sort of a hub for sneaker culture.
One of my earliest experiences with StockX was
Better be good.
No, it was great. It was great. It was great.
No, as long as it's honest.
No, honestly, it was cool because
Okay, cool. It was good. Perfect. Yeah, we got it.
We got it. That's it. We're done.
No, I want to know.
And it was very early on when the Concord 11s were coming out, the 45s on the back.
2019.
That was my first time buying something off of a site like that.
Yeah.
Because for me, I've never had the apps.
Yeah.
I've never done the raffles. I've never done it. I've always waited until I'll get it later from someone else.
If Bobby Kicks had it his way, he would order kicks through a VHS. If you had it your way,
I would do like QVC, style, or on the phone, dial up, that whole thing. But I had a great experience. It was pretty cool. What I loved about it is I was so impressed of the variety, the inventory. I was like, okay, and you can see the 3D view and all these different, different angles, information. It was a very new shopping experience for me that really made me appreciate, like, hey, this might be something I can access the shoes, because at the time it was really hard to get. It was like, everything was just gone.
Right.
So it was really nice to actually get them, and feel like, I can actually get something that wasn't sold out and you have to go through resellers and all this stuff. But it was very easy to use and I had a great experience. So, that's a really good example of like my early experience with them. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the database is the deepest database there is on sneakers and release dates and prices and things like that. So I'm proud of that too.
Yeah, my first experience with StockX was not purchasing, but actually selling.
Okay. Actually, you sold him the Jordan 11s,
right?
I probably did.
And
it was, and I'm not a reseller. I'm not a reseller at all. I'm not going to claim to be a reseller. I'm a pure sneaker enthusiast. There was just some kicks that was just taking up space.
Yeah.
Right. And I have an emotional relationship with sneakers, but I also don't.
Okay.
And especially I'm big on wearing my sneakers. And I had some sneakers I was like, I didn't even wear these sneakers.
Do you remember what it was?
I sold like a couple. The first sneaker I sold, hold on.
I wish I had my computer here. We could look up the account.
I had 2 pairs of the Bread 4.
Okay.
Air Jordan. So what year was that? 2018?
I'm bad with years.
Right? 2018 Air Jordan Bread 4. I had 2 pairs because that was when the last time it released with Nike Air was like 99.
Right. This was the final. Finally, we got
finally like we've been getting jump mid air. Then the quality's been bad. It's been chipping. Right. So I was like, let me get 2 pairs. Right, one to rock, one to stock. But then I thought about it. I was like, okay, I'm wearing it. Right, and then how long I'm going to really hold on to it? Right. And I'm not a multiple purchase of the same sneaker. That's not really my style. Okay. So I was a little.
I haven't done that too frequently.
Right. To each his own.
Maybe 5 or 6 times in my life of like I needed 2 pairs or I felt like I needed 2 pairs.
Right. So to each his own, and it was a very seamless experience. Like it was smooth. And then in the purchasing side, I got a sneaker. It was I'm going through a blank right now. I just know the sneaker came from Japan.
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
And it confused me because I saw like a DHL box. Right. And I was like, but then I started to realize that, hey, that seller was an international seller on that particular sneaker. It was an ACG. It was an ACG low top,
Mountain Fly or something like that. Yeah.
Black Mountain Fly.
Yeah. Great shoe.
Black. Wow. Love it. Love that shoe. Love the hike in that shoe. Low ACG Mountain Fly Black 2. Not the first iteration.
Mountain Fly 2 low. Yeah.
Yeah. The second iteration. And I saw DHL boxes. Then I saw like Chinese letter. Yeah. I was like, wow, okay, so StockX is international. I didn't know much about how the logistic of StockX works.
Yeah.
But
you'll know.
Definitely a positive experience.
Yeah, glad to hear it.
Can you walk us through like what the process looks like how it works, I guess briefly. I know it's very complex, but break it down for us.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm a seller, I throw the shoes up there. I put my ask price up there, and if somebody meets the ask price, if somebody puts a bid on that matches it, then I'm going to ship my shoes out to StockX at a verification center, and somebody's going to take a thorough look at them, make sure it's legitimate, make sure the shoe is what it purports to be, and then they're going to ship it out to the buyer anonymously. We're very proud of this anonymous system we have that just mimics the stock market, where it shouldn't really matter as long as the thing is what the person says it is. That's the most important thing, not necessarily who is selling it. I think it's a great system for buying, for selling. I think it's I don't want to go on about it because it sounds like I'm trying to do an ad, but I'm a user, I looked at my account. I had 400 trades, we call them, where there's between buy and sell, 400 trades on the platform before I ever worked there. So I believe in StockX, or believed in it and still do, before they were ever paying my salary.
Yeah. Right. And for those that are not really familiar, can you give us a little brief history on StockX? Where they located,
Yeah. StockX coming up on our 10-year anniversary next year. We're based in Detroit. We have verification centers all over the world. There's one in Detroit, Jersey, Atlanta, UK. These are the hubs where again, we middleman and people send the sneakers through there,
Right.
get verified and things like that. So
Right.
yeah, the company's growing and we got a lot of exciting things coming up for our 10-year anniversary for sure.
Any little nuggets that you can shoot our way, or top secret? It's all good.
Any Kickstory exclusives?
We'll talk about that when the mics are off.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Real quick. You are the Senior Director of Customer Community and Engagement.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, what a title.
What does that entail, and what do you vision in your role in the future, especially coming up on the 10th anniversary?
Yeah, it entails doing stuff like this, making sure we're in tune and tapped in with people who really appreciate and love sneakers like yourselves. It means showing people why we care. It means showing people what we do. It means like being at events. It means covering sneaker releases and kind of being like a little bit of a news / media outlet, even though like the traditional media outlets, like, respect all them, and I worked for some of them, and they're always going to, you know, I think be the main source for when you're learning about sneaker news. But hey, we could do that too. And like, we could do interviews or show up. I just went this week to a Reebok PlayStation launch at Concepts in New York. And like, I love doing that type of stuff, just like chopping it up with people on the ground and, you know, doing like social media recaps of it. So yeah, stuff like that.
Very cool.
Dope.
So StockX, you're doing a lot of cool things there. You're not giving away any secrets. It's all good. We have ComplexCon. We're here. It's Friday.
It's right
so it's,
there.
it's literally right there. I can see people moving in their cool stuff.
Parachute in.
There it is. Right. And you know, I'm really curious about like your contribution to Complex. You're still connected with them. You're still good
For
friends
sure.
with them.
Yeah.
That's awesome that they
I talk to
invited
the
you.
Complex people all the
You're
time.
a panelist.
Yeah.
You're going to be doing what exactly as a panelist?
I'm on the Sneaker of the Year panel this year, so I'm one of the esteemed panelists. It's nice because like this is the first time where I can put the blame on them. Like people, whenever you make lists on the internet, people always feel a strong way about them. They always engender strong reactions, which is good and part of what they're designed to do. But like, I've spent many years in my career like taking the blows of like from random people who like think that the shoe that you put number 7 should have been number 6 instead, or you know, some bickering like that. This year is going to be a real pleasure because like I say, hey, I don't work for Complex. They picked the shoes. You don't blame me. Like I'm just here on the stage, like arguing my points. I'm not to blame for these things.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited. I'm really curious.
Yeah, it's definitely the marquee panel of the weekend.
100%. Brendan, so let's talk about the current climate of sneakers, right? Just like we in a weird time.
Yeah.
I mean, great fives, fire red fives are just sitting. Like sneakers are just sitting. What's your thoughts and feelings overall on the current climate of the sneaker industry?
I think it's a great time for sneakers right now. I think it's a great time to be a buyer, a great time to be a collector. I think that there's a wealth of cool shoes out there to choose from. I think a lot of them are more accessible than they would have been 5 years ago. I think that brands are feeling the pressure and some of these brands are struggling. And I think that that's going to result in great product for consumers and collectors like us. I think it's a good time.
I totally agree on that. I totally agree that shift happening, and the accessibility is definitely going to bring the kid in us again to really just, you know, collect.
Yeah.
And really appreciate them more. That's great.
100%. And then it gives us a platform to talk about the history and personal stories of sneakers.
Yes, the Kickstory.
The Kickstory, right? So I think it's a great time, right? When it was that reseller moment and we getting bots and all that, I just couldn't relate, right? I just couldn't relate, and it just wasn't my energy.
You feel like now it's recalibrated a little bit more toward what you're used to?
That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
You had conversations outside of this talking about that shift that's happening. I'm seeing it right now.
Okay, interesting.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it because shoes, you know, we're big on nostalgia. Also open to new designs.
Yes.
But the fact that I can get my nostalgia pairs and I don't got to go through loopholes. I don't have to, you know, I really, really love that. And then it also saves my pockets too.
Sure.
Right.
And we need that as sneaker collectors. We're all, no matter what, we're going to be spending more money than we should be on this thing. So anything that eases the pain a little bit is a salve. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Brendan, this is awesome. You know, just everything that you've been saying about, you know, what you've been doing.
Yes, sir.
You know, where you're going. Very exciting stuff with, you know, with StockX. So look for that, guys. And I can't wait for ComplexCon.
Yeah, it's going to be a good weekend.
One thing I did want to ask of you is, you know, you're full of knowledge, you're full of experience. You had a lot of great, you know, fortunate enough to really collaborate with a lot of different people. If someone wants to kind of follow in your shoes and your shadows, like what kind of advice that you can give them to say, hey, this is some of the things you have to keep in mind as you're growing in, you know, in the sneaker culture, you know, whether it be storytelling or collecting?
Yeah, I mean, I would say connect with as many people as you possibly can, because like every single person probably has some bit of knowledge that you don't have, or some understanding that you don't have, whether it be about sneakers or otherwise. I mean, that was one of the really important things for me when I first moved to New York, was just like going to every single event that I possibly could, in case I could meet whoever who worked in the industry. And some people are too cool for some events. Like I was always like, I'm going to everything. I want to know everybody. And I think that really helped my work through the years, because I'd maintain connections, and it helped inform the stories that I write. Yeah, be good to people, be kind to people.
There you go.
It's never really useful to have an enemy. Like you never, this is like, it's a tough strategy to follow, but like you never really gain anything from having like an issue with somebody, you know, where, and not that we should base relationships on gaining things from them, but like, you can always gain something from having an ally, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Those are some things I think, yeah.
No, that's great advice. And guys, you know, this is something
There's a lot of like petty, like internet sneaker beefs that it's like, that will never get you anything.
Anywhere.
That like there's like the amount of positive that you can extract from that is like so small.
Right.
Yeah. Well said.
100%.
I think that's something that we definitely, you know, appreciate with everyone that we've been meeting. They've been super kind, super open,
Right.
just sharing knowledge, and we're learning a lot from this. I'm learning a lot from him. He's learning a lot from me, and we're learning a lot from
I'm
everyone.
learning from y'all, yeah.
You know? So, you know, this is a beautiful connection that we're trying to preserve,
Yeah.
you know, for future collectors, future enthusiasts, and all that good stuff. So awesome. Thank you so much for your time, dude.
No, happy to do it. Happy we made it happen.
Yes.
It's been in the works for a while.
It's been a long time coming, but it's actually the perfect timing.
Yeah.
It's actually, and it's funny how
Good
timing
place for
works
it.
out.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly
Good place for it.
Yeah.
We once again in, where we at, Bobby?
Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas.
No, try to recap. And yeah, you know, thanks again for your time. I mean, I'm looking forward to what you're going to be doing at StockX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And looking forward to tomorrow's event and Sunday as well, this weekend.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to Sneaker of the Year conversation.
Yes.
Welcome back to ComplexCon.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Looking forward to StockX 10-year anniversary. That was quick.
Next year. Yeah.
Sure.
I know.
2026. That was quick. Bobby, I think that's all we have right now. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode, right, with Mr. Brendan Dunne right here. And once again, we at Las Vegas 2025 ComplexCon. And Bobby, what should they be doing right now?
Guys, you made it this far. Subscribe, click that notification bell. All that will definitely help us out in
Yes, sir.
getting these stories
Please do
out
that.
there.
Please do that, because like guys like this, you're doing it for free. And like the thing you're asking of the audience is like, you're not, I mean, it wouldn't be unreasonable to ask them for like $5 to subscribe to,
Right.
you know, but you're not even asking them to do that. It's like
Right.
people consume all this stuff for free. Like all you have to do in order to like continue to make the stuff free, or to like continue supporting the people who are making it, is like small things like that. Like,
Right.
Preach. Keep going. Keep going.
I feel very strongly about that. I feel very strongly about
Very
that.
much.
Thank you.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Right. And like you said, you know, we're doing this off of the passion.
Yeah.
We're doing this off of the soul, SOLE, and our souls, SOUL, of the sneaker culture, and how we feel about it, how it shaped our lives as kids to adults, and to disconnect and have sneaker conversation with men and people like this in the sneaker industry, is just energetically.
Yes.
Energetically is this paying it forward to the originators of the culture, right? Or just the people. End of the day,
Right.
we're doing this for the people.
And make sure go to kickstreetpodcast.com. You'll see links, quick links to all of our channels on all the platforms.
Yes, sir.
You got audio, you got YouTube. We're all on all the popular channels there. So don't miss out. Go to kickstreetpodcast.com.
Yep.
You'll also find ways to support us as well. Other ways of doing that too, and take advantage of the cool incentives that we have with the Rejuvenator as well too. So, Brendan, thank you very much for your time.
Yes, sir.
That's
You're
it
right.
for
Thank
me,
you.
Matt.
Okay,
This is great.
That's it. And guys, if you're in, I know you're going to see this after ComplexCon, but we hope to just, rub some elbows and shoulders with people in ComplexCon
Yeah,
2025.
we'll meet some good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the weekend. Looking forward to that. And thank you once again. And looking forward to everything that you are doing in the future with StockX. Continue to just rub shoulders with the people. I love seeing that. And that's all I got.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Till next time, guys. This is Kick Street Podcast. I'm Bobby Kicks.
Go T.
Brendan Dunne.
Thank you, guys.
We out.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for watching this episode of Kickstory. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. And stay connected with us on Instagram and these podcast platforms listed here. We also want to hear from you. So make sure to comment below and give us your thoughts. Thanks again for your support, and we'll see you next time.